Have you ever cried in the middle of the night, whispering into the darkness, Ya Allah, please answer me? Have you made dua with a trembling heart, only to feel like the silence that follows is unbearable? Let me tell you something today. That might change how you see your entire journey. This is your sign. Yes, this video, this moment, it's not random. Allah heard your dua. He's not ignoring you. He's preparing you for something greater than you imagined. Step 1. Allah is changing you because your dua is too big for who you are now. You prayed for something beautiful. Maybe it's a righteous spouse. Maybe it's a better job. Maybe it's healing. Maybe it's guidance. But what if the version of you right now isn't yet ready to receive it? In Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:11, Allah says, Indeed, Allah does not change the condition of a people until they change what is in themselves. You see, the transformation begins with you. Let's say you asked for abundant rizq, sustenance. Allah may first teach you patience and gratitude, so you don't misuse that rizq. You asked for love. He may first teach you self-worth, so you don't settle for less than what He has written. You asked for peace. He may shake your world, just so you let go of what was stealing your peace. Sometimes the dua is answered through a journey of inner growth. Step 2. Your pain isn't punishment, it's preparation. It's natural to ask in moments of hardship, if Allah loves me, why is this so hard? But what if the very difficulty you're facing is a sign of His love, not His absence? The Prophet gave us a powerful insight. When Allah loves a servant, He tests him. Tirmidhi. That means your pain isn't punishment. It's preparation. Allah isn't trying to push you away. He's drawing you closer. Look at your life right now. You're losing people. You're facing closed doors. You're feeling lonely, uncertain, even broken. And yet, you're turning back to Him. You're praying with more depth. You're making dua not out of routine, but out of desperation and sincerity. You're feeling your need for Him more than ever before. That's not punishment. That's transformation. Allah knows who you can become, even when you don't. But to reach that version of yourself, stronger, wiser, closer to Him, you have to go through the fire. Just like gold is refined in intense heat, your soul is being polished through pain. Every hardship is removing a layer of ego, distraction, and dependency on this dunya. And in its place, Allah is planting tawakkul, trust, sabr, patience, and yaqeen, certainty. Preparation always feels like pressure, but divine pressure doesn't crush you, it shapes you. It turns wounds into wisdom, silence into strength, and trials into tools for your elevation. So when life feels overwhelming, remember this. Allah isn't trying to hurt you. He's getting you ready for something greater than you imagined. Not just in this life, but in the next. Your tears, your struggles, your lonely nights, they're all part of a sacred process. And when it's done, you won't just be healed. You'll be transformed. Step 3. Your patience is proof that your faith is alive. Do you know what's truly powerful? It's not loud. It's not dramatic. It doesn't need an audience. It's the quiet resilience of a heart that still calls on Allah. Even after being broken, even after all the waiting, all the silence, all the pain, you're still making dua. You still wake up for prayer. You still whisper hope between sobs. You still believe that Allah hasn't forgotten you. That is not weakness. That is faith. And that kind of patience is not ordinary. It is the mark of a believer whose trust in Allah is alive and burning, even when everything around them feels cold and uncertain. Allah says in Surah Az-Zumar 39:10, Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without account. Without account, no scale, no limit, no measure. Because only Allah knows how much it cost you to keep going when nothing made sense. Your patience is not in vain. Your quiet tears are not wasted. Every time you said, Ya Allah, I trust you even though I don't understand, you elevated. your rank. And don't think for a second that Allah doesn't see you. He sees the tears you cried in sujud. He sees the nights you stayed up, begging Him in broken Arabic, in your own language, or even in silence, because sometimes the pain didn't let you speak. He recorded it all, every act of sabr, every moment of choosing Him over giving up. And He has promised He will reward it, not just with ease in this world, but with honor in the next. So keep going, not because the path is easy, but because your faith is real. And that faith, shown through your patience, is one of the clearest signs that Allah is near, even when it feels like He's silent. Step 4. Delay means development. We live in an age where everything is instant. Fast food, fast internet, fast answers. And because of that, we often expect instant results from Allah too. You make dua today and hope to see the answer tomorrow. But Allah's wisdom isn't bound by urgency, it's shaped by eternity. You asked for a righteous spouse, but Allah is teaching you how to be a righteous spouse first. You asked for your dream job, but Allah is teaching you patience, discipline, and trust, so you don't lose it when it comes. You asked for peace, but Allah is pulling you away from toxic habits and attachments that block that peace. Every delay is not a denial, it's divine development. The Prophet said, "You will be given a companion who is like you." Tirmidhi. This hadith is a deep reminder, before Allah gives you what you want, He often gives you what you need. Growth, maturity, self-awareness, faith. Why? Because a blessing given too early can become a burden, and a gift held in unprepared hands can easily be lost. So instead of asking, "Why is it taking so long?" start asking, "What is Allah teaching me right now?" Because He doesn't delay out of neglect. He delays out of love and precision, developing you into someone who can protect, honor, and sustain the blessing when it finally arrives. Think of the waiting season as your training ground. It's not a pause in your life, it's the process that's preparing your soul. So don't be afraid of waiting, don't resent the delays, because behind every unanswered prayer is a God who is working on you, so that when the time comes, you're not just ready for the blessing, you're worthy of it. Step 5. Your dependence on Allah is the beginning of the answer. Here's a secret. Before Allah answers your dua, He first brings your heart fully to Him. And maybe that thing you were praying for, that heartbreak, that loss, that delay, it brought you to your knees. And from that place of complete surrender, you said, "Ya Allah, only You. I trust only You." Allah says in Surah Ghafir 40:60, "Call upon me, I will respond to you." This isn't a vague promise. It's a divine guarantee. But that response comes when your heart becomes anchored in tawakkul, full trust. You used to go to people, now you go to Allah. You used to overthink, now you pray. You used to panic, now you trust. That change in your heart, that is the beginning of the answer. Step 6. You haven't given up. And that means you're almost there. Let me ask you this. If you've come this far, if you're still praying, still believing, still whispering to Allah in the quiet of the night, then you haven't given up. And if you haven't given up, then you are exactly where Allah wants you to be. Maybe your life doesn't look like what you envisioned. Maybe you're still waiting on that breakthrough. Maybe you feel stuck in a season of silence. But look at you. You still read Qur'an. You still offer salah. You still shed tears in sujud when no one is watching. That's not weakness, that's strength, and it's a sign. A divine sign. You're not failing. You're preparing. You're walking the exact path that leads to your dua being fulfilled. And once you're fully ready, destiny will shift in an instant. Final message plus. Dua plus. Call to action if. You've watched until this point, know this. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't luck. It wasn't coincidence. It was divine decree. Allah wanted you to hear this reminder. because the answer to your dua is being written, but the preparation of your soul must come first. So today, say this dua with all your heart. Ya Allah, prepare me for the moment you answer my prayers. Make me the kind of person who can carry the blessing you send. Make my heart strong, patient, and grateful, so I may walk the path you chose for me. Comment below, Allah, I am waiting upon your wisdom. Grant me strength. Share this video, because someone you know might be praying for a sign, and this may be the one Allah sends them through you.